This up. Okay, so hello, I am Tiffany. I am doing a video instead of doing something more creative because of time. Um, so this is my friend Vivian, and her major is physics, so it has nothing to do with psychology. And my two main topics are going to be from chapter one and starting off by what is psychology and the seven approaches to psychology. So by starting off, what is psychology? Uh, Psychology it is defined as the scientific study of human behavior and mental processes. So usually we think it's just about what is negative or just focusing on the bad of psychology or everything's just of some bad mental issue. And it's actually broken down into like three different parts, which is the science. So all psychology is a science, and it's the use of systematic methods to observe the natural world and draw conclusions. Like for example, if someone fell off the bike on the street, and you're like, oh, okay, that's cool. Like we're just observing why or why did you not help that person that fell on the street through science. And the behavior includes everything the organism does that can be observed. So it's not just about a human. I think animals can also be um, tested and observed, if I'm right. Um, and then after behavior comes the mental process, which is how your thoughts, your feelings, and your emotions. So again, it all just draws back to what you do as a human, in my opinion, and I hope that is correct. Um, so okay, that was one topic. What is psychology? So again, it's the scientific study of human behavior and mental processes. That's all it is. My second topic is the contemporary approaches to psychology. There are actually seven approaches to this. It's like the biological approach, the behavioral approach, the psychodynamic approach, humanistic, cognitive, evolutionary, and social cultural approach. So I can start by saying that the biological approach is everything that's like on Earth, that everything that you can see and observe. Like biology is like what you can see. Um, and I don't know. So yeah, it's focuses on the body, especially the brain and the nervous system. So kind of what you see and how you feel. The behavioral approach, which is the second approach, is to emphasize on the scientific study of observable behavioral responses. So basically how you feel, how you respond to things, like behavior, I think it's kind of in the term. And then there's psychodynamic, which is focusing on the unconscious thought of the conflict between biological drives and society's demands on like truly childhood experiences. If that makes does that make sense? Okay. And then your fourth one is the humanistic approach, which is an approach to psychology focusing on the positive qualities of like the human. Yeah, the person's positive qualities. And then the cognitive is basically your mind, your mental process involved in knowing how we direct our attention and they can solve problems or everything that goes in our lives. And then there's the evolutionary, which is how you adapt your reproduction to natural selection as basis for explaining specific human behaviors. So that you're just if I can find something else. So yes, something about about the natural selection as basis for explaining specific human behaviors. And again, like the way I think about this term is that we don't behave the way we did like 200 years ago or even further back. Actually, yeah, further back. And then last but not least is the social cultural approach, and it focuses on the ways in which social and cultural environments influence behavior. And I think this one has to do a lot with where we come from. Like I think everyone has a different experience. Like if you're from America or like if you're from China, so yeah, it's just the way that you are as an individual and how you may react to certain things and certain things. So yeah, it's all basically what this is the different views of the same behavior. Did they make sense? Have any questions or something?
Yeah, I think this is sense. But like, can you give me an example of how they all relate?
Oh yeah, sure. Okay, so again, they're just different views of the same behavior. And like an example would be, let's say, the way I remember it is how if you get a bad grade on your report card or something. So your biological approach would be how you saw that grade physically on your paper, and you're like, okay. So then your behavior after you saw your grade is like, oh my god, like I got a bad grade, you know. And then the psychodynamic approach, if I'm not wrong, let me refer back to my notes because I do not want to get wrong. Oh yeah, so your psychodynamic might be like, how would society react, or how would my friends or teachers look at me after I received this grade, and you feel like not valuable enough now. And then your humanistic approach would be like, okay, as a human, I think I can study better. What can I do next to make my grade better? And then your cognitive approach, yeah, it would just be like, you're just thinking in your mind, how can I do better next time? And then in your evolutionary approach, might be, okay, now I can set up, after I receive like this grade on, let's say, math or something, you're like, okay, what study habits can I do and evolutionize the way I study now to not get that same bad grade? And then your social cultural approach might be like, now do I want to ask my teacher if she can help me like with this bad grade, or should I not, depending on how your past reactions might have been with like your teacher or something. So yeah, I think that's all for my 2 topics. Did not record. Okay, that was 8 minutes.